All right, the St. Tyrone. Last and not least, I got a little background fan on because right now the temperature is going up to 75 degrees from an average of 55 degrees in the past couple of days here in Georgia. It's really frustrating, but it is what it is. This blog right now is to actually play some videos and look at websites of companies that I'm looking at, and also just going online doing my research for, because of the fact that I'm looking for a job and a new job. And I figured I got a couple more days. Today is the 22nd. In 2 days, I lose access to this program. So at least last 2 days, I have access to make some videos, and then I'll end up using Screen Grabber Premium and making some videos and uploading it to Cisco. So I don't necessarily have to have this tool, but this is such a great tool. Um, and when I one day have a Cisco Live channel where I talk to other fellow engineers in the space, we can do live streams. This program, StreamYard.com, will be phenomenal. But for now, I'm a black guy in a white space, and I have to deal with racism and prejudice and deal with the issues of it. So, first thing first is I got a lady who gave me a call out of the blue. She found me on LinkedIn. I've been using my LinkedIn profile to tell people I'm looking for jobs, and it looks like the type of firm I really need to be with is something like what we call a partner, a partner of, IT partner firm. So a company by the name of ByteWorks, a recruiter from Orlando called me in Atlanta, Georgia, to tell me about. The company is up here in Duluth, Georgia. Here is the actual company. I need a job. I can't lie about it. They're looking for a senior UC engineer, somebody who's not a junior UC engineer. And this is the same technical, what we call job description that every one of us have to memorize, and we have to speak that language. What am I responsible for? So my main thing is deploying, maintaining, configuring, designing, implementing, and maintenance, upgrading, configuration, installation software. That is the main thing that I am required to do. And of course, in addition to that, in order to make $50 an hour or higher, I also have to evaluate, design, configure, document, implement architecture, and service the business needs. Now, I wish I could have put all this in my own quote-unquote resume. Maybe I need to change my resume and make it this part right here, because technically that's exactly what I do. And I may have to tweak a resume in order to make it just that, okay? And then also responsible for roadmaps and implementation projects. That's exactly what I do, or what I did. Unfortunately, the last 3 years, I have not been doing that, and it looks kind of crappy on my resume because I've had 3 contract jobs in 3 years, and I want a permanent role. As well as I'm supposed to participate on a 8 days, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, which ain't bad. 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. Used to be 8 hours a day, 24 by 7 service desk. I did that at a company that they fired me recently, but I spent a year and a half at that company, only to get fired and find out the previous black person got fired before me, and God knows that racism had a lot to play with it. But then on the same time, I get with King and Spalding, and they treat me the way they treat me at King and Spalding. Both fucking companies were fucked up, and I say that straight up. So we get all the basic stuff, and so the biggest thing I care about really is they want us to work with vendors, carriers, and work with these vendors and their carriers and technical staff. They want me also to understand UCCX, not UCCE, but the bottom line is UCCX is the precursor to UCCE. I'm studying on both. And then these are all the basic things team member leadership, technical leadership, and here's what they want: 1 to 5, 10 years. Notice that they don't want nobody over that. They expect you to be above, and they're not looking. If you're over 10 years of experience, they may not. They're gonna do what I think they're gonna do. You're too overqualified. What the hell do I do? And the answer that's the question I'm trying to answer. Serve as a technical mentor to the younger engineers. Okay? That's really the ultimate goal for a UC engineer. So if the company name doesn't matter, what really matters is the title. That's the role that I'm looking for, and that's what I'm aiming for. Okay. So now, with that being said, we're gonna watch this video on a new company I just heard about in Duluth called ByteWorks. Never heard of them? I just looked them up a few minutes ago, and this is their video. One of the videos about administration, Microsoft Teams versus Cisco. Here we go.
Hello again, everyone. This is Jeremiah Plaskett with ByteWorks, and this is another collaboration video blog. Today I'm going to be talking about Microsoft Teams and the all-new WebEx app. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about Microsoft Teams and how it compares as a collaboration platform. Of course, Microsoft is well known as being for their productivity apps, from Outlook to SharePoint to Excel, PowerPoint, etc. And it's a great product, but I get a lot of questions about how the collaboration or the phone system pieces and the meetings pieces all compares to some of the other solutions out there, namely Cisco WebEx. And so what I'm going to focus on today is 10 burning questions every IT administrator should ask themselves if they're considering Microsoft Teams as a collaboration platform. So let's get right into it. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Okay. 10 burning questions IT admins should ask about Microsoft Teams. This is kind of a WebEx versus Microsoft Teams comparison for this collab blog today. Obviously, there's some other great solutions out there, but I'm going to focus today on Microsoft Teams and WebEx. So, question number 1. How important is complete real-time collaboration for your employees? Okay, Microsoft Teams provides team collaboration. Hopefully so. It's in the name, right? Messaging, voice over IP, callback functionality, but it lacks consistent integrated experiences when combining hardware and software. WebEx supports the core, and when I'm referring to WebEx, I am referring to the all-new WebEx app, which is a unified app which has the meetings component within it. It has the messaging component, Teams messaging component, and of course it has the calling component as well. And those components, those workloads, if you will, are modular in the sense that you can have one and maybe not the other two, or two and maybe not one of them. And it also supports on-premises and cloud solutions. So WebEx supports the core components of real-time collaboration solution, like instant messaging, video conferencing, document integration, and content, regardless if you're collaborating within your organization or externally, and that's very important. IT can ensure a great user experience across both hardware, phones, headsets, WebEx cameras, and software from one central administration dashboard within the WebEx Control Hub. So the WebEx app is it's a unified app because it provides enterprise-grade PBX calling capabilities, next-generation cloud calling, and video conferencing and team messaging capabilities that pair with the WebEx devices wirelessly for superior high-definition video and audio experiences. Analyst assessments and customer peer reviews have consistently rated the WebEx Unified app as an industry leader. WebEx provides real-time collaboration whether you're working externally or internally to your organization. Microsoft Teams creates the appearance of having a seamless real-time experience However, when collaborating externally, you must sign out of your organization / tenant and sign into the other tenant. This means that you can no longer get messages, calls, voicemails from your organization until you sign back in. So very, very important distinction between these two products is when you're communicating externally, it's not a frictionless experience with Microsoft Teams in the least. You no longer get messages, calls, voicemail, real-time experience. However, when collaborating externally, you must sign out of your organization / tenant and sign into the other tenant. This means that you can no longer get messages, calls, voicemails from your organization until you sign back in. So very, very important distinction between these two products is when you're communicating externally, it's not a frictionless experience with Microsoft Teams in the least. Question number 2, do your employees expect a frictionless experience when collaborating externally? Right back to what I was saying. With Microsoft Teams, users must leave their company's platform and become guests in somebody else's platform. The user is disconnected from their own Microsoft 365 tools and entitlements, including calling, calendar, SharePoint, etc. With WebEx, 50% of information workers, according to Forrester, regularly interact with their colleagues, partners, and customers, which is external collaboration. It's important that seamless external collaboration is essential to workplace productivity. Cisco WebEx was designed for frictionless collaboration to easily connect without boundaries, no compromise on access to collaboration tools or WebEx integrations like calendar, content, and more. Okay, so when you're communicating through the WebEx app, whether it's within your company or outside of your company, it's a frictionless, consistent, seamless experience. That's the whole point that WebEx is going for, is to enable frictionless global collaboration on one integrated platform that's secure and allows cross-company collaboration. It's also got a single point of IT administration. From the WebEx Control Hub, it provides account provisioning, security configuration, and device management all in one place. It's also, and this is a very important distinction, encrypted. It has true end-to-end encryption on WebEx with visibility, compliance, and control that we're allowing you to enforce your policies and protect your users. Microsoft Teams requires employees to log in and out of their organization or tenant. When working externally, external users have limited one-to-one chat and meetings capabilities, which creates more friction. And while guest users can do a little more, they lose visibility of communications and collaboration in their own organization while logged in as a guest. This friction makes collaborating more difficult and frustrating to the end user. Question number 3. When collaborating externally, how important is ensuring your security policies are not compromised? Being able to collaborate externally is just part of the equation. When you're doing so, is your information secure? With Microsoft Teams, there is a risk of potential data leaks while users are guests in another company's platform. Administrators cannot prevent a user from sharing or managing data when they are guests. Microsoft Teams does provide security in TLS. However, it is not end-to-end encryption. WebEx natively supports collaboration anywhere on any device with the same consistent and secure experience. When collaboration with external users take place, compliance and security policies like retention, e-discovery, and data loss prevention, among others, are always applied regardless of the type of interaction. WebEx offers true end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data is encrypted not only in transit, but at rest and in use. So Cisco WebEx collaboration security and compliance is built from the ground up into the platform, including that true end-to-end encryption by default for messages, files, and whiteboards. The 360-degree approach, if you will, enables secure collaboration, whether inside your organization or even when you're collaborating across company lines with vendors, partners, and customers. It encrypts all user-generated content, true end-to-end encryption on Teams with visibility, compliance, and control to enforce your policies and protect your users. Microsoft Teams does not have the ability to manage content in different organizations once a piece of content is shared. Remote, wipe, or data loss prevention properties are completely lost. So very key differentiations between these two platforms there. Question number 4, are you getting the most from your meeting space investment? With Microsoft Teams offers 2 hardware platforms, Microsoft Collaboration Rooms and Microsoft Collaboration Bars, which provide different meeting features. Microsoft depends on third-party portals for advanced analytics and any other data those various vendors can provide, which are not consistent across the ecosystem. WebEx offers a no compromise portfolio, providing AI and analytics for all meeting types. For example, while in a meeting, WebEx provides name tags, people count, and integration with the WebEx application. Outside of a meeting, WebEx can still provide people count in addition to digital signage, analytics for ad hoc sharing and whiteboarding, as well as sensor data for facilities use. So you can tell by sensor data, you can tell what the temperature in the room is, for example, how many people are in the room, etc. So the key message here is that Cisco is a cloud-first, but not cloud-only collaboration solution provider. Whether you are cloud-ready or just starting, with a choice in deployments, there are flexible options for every type of organization. So you can have on-premises, cloud, and hybrid solutions. And that helps you protect your existing on-premises investments by utilizing things like Cisco's WebEx Edge services while still gaining the benefits that Cisco's Cognitive Cloud provides. Microsoft Teams is a cloud-only solution and offers very, very limited on-premises or hybrid solution components of their solution. Extremely limited. Question number 5. Where do your users get things done? Where do they live? While Microsoft provides a large portfolio of integrations, their integrations bring users into the Microsoft Teams application. Okay? The WebEx platform is built for interoperability and openness. WebEx has the ability to take any or a subset of your workload into your preferred application. The WebEx app can also be enhanced with application integration. So Cisco's open platform and SIP phone system makes it easy to keep your phones and other peripherals for the long haul. Cisco includes APIs and software development kits for integrations with other software vendors, as well as integrations with Office, Salesforce.com, and ServiceNow. WebEx provides freedom for developers, partners, and customers to innovate, deploy, and manage intelligent collaboration solution workflows. Ready-made integrations with leading business apps, open APIs, SDKs, and widgets for easy do-it-yourself integrations. Microsoft Teams Skype architecture was not originally built on SIP, thus making the opportunity to use existing phone systems not applicable. So with Cisco's solution, if you live in Salesforce, for example, you can bring the calling and the meetings and the messaging within Salesforce, all within that same pane of glass. You don't have to bring all of those workloads into the WebEx app like you would if you were using the Microsoft Teams app. So another very important distinction. 6, what is your assessment of the cost associated with purchasing, maintaining, and supporting your current and planned collaboration solutions? Microsoft bundles can get you started with collaboration, but often result in a number of additional add-ons. For example, enabling video rooms is just one of those areas. Furthermore, their analytics and reporting platform is generally not sufficient in order to maintain visibility and reliability in the platform. The need for a third-party management and analytics tool is imminent to support an efficient and sustainable collaboration environment when using Microsoft Teams. With Cisco WebEx, the Flex plan entitles you to use the WebEx collaboration tools as well as the ability to use Cisco video endpoints at no additional cost with their one simple subscription-based offer. The Flex plan helps with the transitions to the cloud and investment protection by including cloud on-premises hosted and hybrid deployments all within that plan, and the flexibility to use all of those things. So a complete unified communication collaboration solution is easier to use and manage with a lower total cost of ownership. Despite perception amongst many, meetings and calling comes at a cost for Microsoft, often as unexpected and extra costs at a later date. People think you can get it all with a certain Microsoft E3 or E5 5, whatever the case. It's always extra with Microsoft. Complete solutions with integrated devices and applications are easier to use and manage and have a lower total cost of ownership when you have all one platform. Question number 7. Hybrid working is here to stay. It's not really a question, more of a statement. Microsoft, however, is unable to provide a unified, inclusive experience as there is no consistency across their third-party hardware vendors. Depending upon what collaboration room system you buy from Microsoft, the vendors, the manufacturers that make the equipment is different, and the experience and use of the equipment is not consistent, and it's different. WebEx provides a robust solution whether you are working from home, on your on your mobile, or returning to the office. Hybrid working means providing an enhanced collaboration experience with built-in intelligence to support facial recognition, voice commands, noise cancellation, ultrasonic device pairing and sensors. This provides that inclusive work environment for teams in the office or working remote. Key message here, WebEx is easy to use and consistent across all of their devices. WebEx Teams integrates seamlessly with the Cisco devices as well. The WebEx Control Hub provides an easy way to manage the physical workspaces. People count, occupancy metrics, and trending make it easy to manage in the COVID-19 world. Microsoft Teams doesn't provide the additional capabilities in their base model to support the return to work scenario. Most companies would have to add additional services in order to get the same features that WebEx already provides. Question number 8. How much time do you and your IT team spend on platform management on a day-to-day basis? Microsoft Teams does not provide insightful information to be proactive in the support of the collaboration platform. Microsoft Teams does not provide real-time troubleshooting level data for a meeting or a way for IT administrators to join and support a meeting. Additionally, Microsoft is very dependent on third-party portals and tools. Cisco WebEx Control Hub makes administrators with a single pane of glass to set up and manage users, devices, team collaboration, cloud, and video mesh services. WebEx Control Hub provides rich analytics that can deliver advanced insights and reporting, as well as the necessary mechanisms to troubleshoot any of those services. The key message here, WebEx Control Hub provides a seamless way to provision, control, and analyze all of your Cisco WebEx services. You can configure and enforce security policies to secure devices and prevent accidental misuse of data. Microsoft Teams only provides basic reports so that IT can manage how their users access the system. And then if you get a full-fledged collaboration solution from Microsoft, you're going to have multiple portals and multiple companies in the mix and managing all of those different administrative points. Quite the headache. 9. Wouldn't you prefer a native experience compared to interoperability? Microsoft offers a number of interoperability options. However, they come at a cost to the user experience, IT overhead, and overall total cost of ownership of the solution. With WebEx, Cisco WebEx provides software and hardware to enable the best collaboration experience while making it easier for IT to manage. The WebEx app delivers messaging, calling, meetings, and the ability to natively control devices such as phones and video endpoints. Native experiences always provide a better experience than having expensive third-party integrations and things like CDI for voice interoperability of systems. And the other big takeaway here is that you can configure and enforce security policies to secure devices and prevent accidental misuse of data. That's something you just simply cannot do in the Microsoft Teams world. Finally, do you or does your company need to reach large audiences? Microsoft events can result in unforeseen costs. There are challenges for the host of the event as there is limited visibility as to who is in your event and the ability to interact with them. Microsoft Events requires white glove services to scale beyond 10,000 attendees. With Cisco WebEx, you can reach audiences of 100,000 attendees with the ability for presenters and panelists to leverage the highest quality video through a WebEx device. WebEx provides engaging tools through QA, chat polling, and post-meeting surveys. So, Those are the 10 burning questions that you as an IT administrator should ask yourself if you're really considering Microsoft Teams as your collaboration platform. Microsoft is great at productivity apps. That's what they do. Their collaboration solution is a bolted on conglomeration of multiple vendors, multiple portals of management, and some serious security and compliance gaps. That's the end takeaway. Microsoft is great at what they do with Office 365 and in the productivity realm. But if you want a true collaboration platform that provides all of the benefits of UC 3.0, WebEx is an unparalleled solution. Now, in closing, I want to mention an event coming up for WebEx, a WebEx special event coming up on June 8th about hybrid work made real. I've had the banner scrolling at the bottom and where you can go to register, but this is a special WebEx event talking about this new hybrid workplace that collaboration solutions need to be able to meet the demands of. And again, what that means is if you've been home working this whole time for COVID-19 and you're going back in the office, you want a frictionless and seamless transition between working remotely and going back into the office. And there's a lot of new great announcements coming from Cisco and WebEx to that end on June 8th. So please take the time to register. In conclusion, I appreciate everyone tuning in to our collaboration video blog here at ByteWorks. Just a reminder, ByteWorks specializes in data center, enterprise networking, cybersecurity, and collaboration solutions. Please reach out to us, comment, subscribe to our videos. If you have any questions at all, if you need IT consulting help from experts who've been there and done that, please reach out to us. Thank you all and have a great day.
Monzo.com makes GANs great again. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to say again because they never were, and they're complicated. See, with Monzo.com, making a Gantt chart is as simple as throwing a process or project stages here,
Think your work can be more efficient?
Achieve more with Monday.com.
If an entire planet's worth of scientists agreed that climate change is real, would you ignore them? Over 99% of scientists agree that climate change is here. Protect your kids' future at ScienceMoms.com.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jeremiah Plaska with ByteWorks. ByteWorks is an IT infrastructure consulting firm located in the Atlanta, Georgia area. We specialize in data center, enterprise networking, cybersecurity, and collaboration technologies. Today, I'm going to be speaking about Cisco's unified communications platform, also known as their collaboration portfolio. We're going to be talking about what's new in the second quarter of 21. Now, there's a lot of content to cover, so I'm going to try to go through this pretty quickly. So without further ado, let me share my screen out. We'll get started. So First thing I want to just state is that I will be covering items that are forward-looking. Most of the items that I'm going to be speaking to are already released. However, there are some items that have not yet been released, and they may never come to pass. That's why I have the safe harbor statement in here just in case. Now, we learned in the last year with COVID-19 and the turmoil that has been the past year, that remote work is possible and it can be productive, that work from home solutions were never meant to be 100%. We need more connected digital customer experiences. And looking forward, we have to continue to reimagine both the employee and customer experiences that we want to have with collaboration technologies. And the future of work is hybrid. And truly what that means is that you want to make sure that your collaboration technologies are seamless between working from home and in the office, working remote, and then getting back to the office. You want it to be frictionless as you go between those sorts of work environments. Now, this presentation that I'm going to go over is broken into 4 categories, if you will: seamless collaboration, smart hybrid work experiences, intelligent customer experiences, and it's all wrapped around great security, privacy, management, and insights. This is an icon legend kind of showing you what some of the products that I'll be covering. And as I speak to them, if you see the corresponding icon on that page, that means I'm speaking to that particular technology. So, seamless collaboration. This really is all about being able to work with anyone from anywhere and working in sync with the apps you love. I'm going to be speaking in this section covers a lot about the WebEx app. The WebEx app, formerly WebEx Teams, has been rebranded into one app, the one app to rule them all, if you will. And they've put the meetings workload, the Teams workload, the calling workload, all up under that one app. And what's really nice is it's modular, means it can work with both on-premises solutions and cloud solutions. And you can pick and choose if you don't need all 3. You can just, if you only need calling, you can just only have calling. If you only need messaging, you could do that as well. And so a lot of enhancements that we'll be speaking to is about this app and how you can live in this app and use it for pretty much all your collaboration needs. So to that end, let's get right down into it. This icon that we see on this page, that is the WebEx app icon. And one of the new enhancements is that you can select the landing tab in the app. So when you first launch it, by default before, it always launched into the messaging tab. And now you can actually administratively control where you want to launch, which is important, especially if you're only using certain workloads. They've added the forward and back arrows and navigation history, which is great because it's easy once you start using the app and you've got a bunch of spaces going to lose track of where you're at. And sometimes you'll find something and then you'll go to another space and you need to hit back to try to find it again. Whereas before you didn't have that option, and this certainly makes it easier. So another great enhancement there. You can now have emojis on the Windows version of the app. If you type in : it's going to bring up a bunch of emojis that you can do. So just kind of an app for or an enhancement for the Windows app. I'm sure something like that's going to come to the Mac app as well. This is nice in that before, when you had meetings and you recorded those meetings, you would have to log into the WebEx portal to access them. Now you can access them right from within the app, from either the space, if you had a space meeting, or from the calendar tab. So you'll be able to see all your recordings and send them out and listen to them right from the WebEx app, which is super nice. Pinning messages, a feature that's definitely been needed, and that's where you can actually pin a message in a space and make it stay there so that everyone can see it when they first go to that space. You can now mark messages as unread, which is good for follow-up later. You can also flag them for follow-up. Space linking, you can this is a nice needed feature as well, so that you can basically paste a link for spaces and other spaces that people can join. Slido integration. Slido is a tool that it's a best-in-class audience engagement platform. So you could always already have polls within WebEx, but now you can have Q&As, quizzes, word cloud, brings extra analytics. So it gives you extra tools within your meetings. Real-time language translation. This is important because not everyone speaks English, right? And so users can select real-time translations for 109 languages. Immersive share. So this is neat. If you have one of these devices, it's working on the Desk Pro already. I'm actually on a Desk Pro right now, and you can basically have your video hover in front of your presentation. In meeting, you can now customize stage views. You can easily drag and drop who and what you want on the stage. You can also limit attendees' view to stage only, which is definitely a nice feature. And users have more tools in their meetings. In-meeting Q&A is now a standard feature, and you've got a slider that allows you to zoom in on content, which is really nice. The in-app scheduler. Again, this is something where before you had to have, pardon me, just get my cursor out of the way. You had to schedule through the portal, through the actual WebEx portal, or have like productivity tools installed through Outlook, or if you don't use Outlook, Google plugin, for example, or maybe hybrid calendar. But this just gives you another place where you can go and schedule your meetings, and it's nice because it being within that WebEx app, it's just quick and easy. They've enhanced the WebEx events now, and you get the same rich features that you get in meetings, such as modern scheduling, the WebEx Assistant. You can optimize sharing for motion and video, has music mode and reactions. So huge update coming to WebEx events very soon. Looking forward to that. You can seamlessly escalate a call within the app. Let's say you're talking to somebody, you can now escalate it to a full-blown WebEx meeting and invite other participants. Now the app is supported on Chromebook, which is nice. This is for specific to WebEx calling, which WebEx calling is the cloud phone calling, if you will, cloud calling service. And it now has a video auto attendant and music on hold options. So very nice. Integration with Box. You can now collaborate on your Box files from within the WebEx app and mobile devices. And you can also, within the Box portal itself, share files to spaces and launch meetings, etc. So very nice enhancements there. Salesforce integration. A lot of companies use Salesforce, and it's nice to have your collaboration tools all within the Salesforce portal. You can schedule meetings, click to call, all of those functionalities. It basically gives you your collaboration tools that you need right within Salesforce. Miro, you can collaborate seamlessly with Miro. Miro's a cloud-based whiteboarding tool, if you will, a collaborative tool, and now you can bring that tool into your spaces. Same thing for Mural. Mural's another one that's a collaborative cloud tool. You can have Kanban boards and things like that, and now you can bring it all into a space. So a lot of integration capabilities. A Workday bot. Bots are really important when it comes to WebEx because bots just make you more productive. They help in so many ways. You can basically have bots do all sorts of things, but the Workday bot's nice because you can quickly view time off balances and request PTO, things like that, all through the bot. So again, another great way to integrate or use integrations to help the platform be even more powerful. The WebEx App Hub has been redesigned to make it easier to find WebEx integrations with third-party services. So again, if you're not currently using bots within your WebEx environment, we highly recommend it. This is great because it allows the host to schedule meetings with multiple language channels. So if you are having a multinational call, if you will, and you want to make sure that folks have the ability to understand what you're saying, then participants can select a specific language channel for live translation so that they can participate. It's really, really nice integration. All right, so that covered that first tier, if you will, seamless collaboration. Now we're going to start talking about smart hybrid work experiences. This is enhancements to the devices. And again, it's all about going from seamless collaboration, from working from home and going into the office and having a frictionless transition. So enhancements, the more grids, the better, right? Next thing you know, it'll be 25 by 25. Obviously, at some point, the video pictures get too small to see, but 5x5 grid view is nice, especially on the device you see there. Again, that's the WebEx Desk Pro, which is excellent personal device or huddle room device. And the larger grid views are more important than ever with people working, from anywhere and everywhere these days. They've also improved the layouts options for the larger room systems that you see here. This is a dual screen MX 700, for example. And the screen on the left, by the way, is the active speaker, and then it grids everyone else over on the screen on the right, and then the active speaker will change depending upon who's speaking. But it just gives you better visibility, being able to see everybody all on those two screens. So, and all of this is customizable on the devices too, which is nice. Cisco proximity. So before, if you had devices that were cloud registered in your environment, and you had devices that were still on premises registered to Call Manager, for example, proximity works differently. You couldn't use proximity through the WebEx app for the on-premises devices. You could for the cloud ones, but you'd have to have a different application for the on-premises. So this is really nice, and it's been needed for a while. This now allows you to wirelessly share and connect to two devices, whether it's on-premises or in the cloud. Host controls for raising your hand. So this just gives you more power as a host to put those hands back down as you see them raised if you don't need them anymore. And now, of course, with certain devices, you can raise your hand and it will recognize that gesture and raise it for you. So depending upon the device, it allows you to communicate more intuitively. Shape recognition in whiteboards. That way, if you've got very bad handwriting like me or very bad drawing skills, it kind of helps you out there. Network quality indicator from devices. You want to know, if it's your network that's having a problem, so it gives you that visibility now. Firmware upgrades for the MPP phones. So MPP is multi-platform phones. These are the Cisco phones that you can take and register to WebEx calling in the cloud or any other third-party cloud service. And these firmware enhancements allow for enterprise migration enhancements, support for new languages, WebEx media path optimization with WebEx calling. It's just making the firmware better and more in line with what you might be used to if you have used these phones registered to a Call Manager in the past. Additional cordless phones available now for WebEx calling. So this is nice in that you can have for manufacturing environments, for example, you can actually have phones that don't have to be tethered to the network. You can walk around and still use the WebEx calling cloud service with these new phones. The WebEx Assistant now supports switching between English and Spanish and French. So that's a good enhancement. You can easily access People Insights now. People Insights is now on by default. Just for those of you who may not know, People Insights is a thing that you can set up. If you have a WebEx Meetings account, you can log into people.webex.com and as provided your organization has enabled it org-wide, then you can put in your profile, and your profile is going to have information like your work history and some job history information, if you will. Inside for external viewers. For internal viewers, they can actually see your direct reports and who you report to and things like that. So the reason why People Insights is important is it gives you extra context of who you're meeting and what their roles are. And to that end, there's now personal insights that you can access through the WebEx app, which is really neat in that it can tell you analytics like how often you join meetings on time, how often your meetings run over, things like that really help you better understand how you work and what you can change, for example. Noise removal is now on by default through the WebEx app. So Cisco purchased Babel Labs, and they are experts at noise removal. And now that's automatically enabled for when you join meetings. And it works really, really remarkably well. All right, that covers our smart hybrid work experiences. And now we're going to get into intelligent customer experiences. It's all about that digital first engagement. And so a lot of new highlights is coming from Cisco in these regards. And really, it's all about the new WebEx Contact Center platform. And WebEx Contact Center, if you don't know, is the all new cloud contact center offering from Cisco. It's omni-channel, out of the box. That means you can have your set up a contact center so that your customers can reach you via calling, via email, and chat right from day one. And then you can add extra things like SMS and social media. And that's you'll see there that Cisco and IMI Mobile have a partnership, and that's a big component of those enhanced features coming to the WebEx Contact Center platform. So WebEx Contact Center is something that is a just robust, wonderful solution. It gets you out of the business of having so many call center applications on premises that you have to maintain and manage, whether you are traditionally a contact center express shop or contact center enterprise. Putting the footprint of those, the hardware footprint and the compute footprint that those items takes is pretty heavy, let's put it that way. And so a lot of overhead. And so having all of those things moved to the cloud, a lot of people are realizing the advantages of that. And so Cisco has really worked hard on their platform over the last couple of years. ByteWorks, we are authorized and specialized partners of WebEx Contact Center. We've had to go through a lot of training and pass a lot of technical hurdles in order to be able to do that. And we're quite proud of it. And the fact that the platform is very, very powerful. And we've been signing a lot of customers up for it because it's a great product, great solution. So to that end, speaking of WebEx Contact Center, there's a new big data stream processing platform, and it increases the throughput, and it's a highly available platform, and it makes reports pop up and analytics pop up a lot quicker, and allows you to proactively respond to incidents better. But many cases before anyone even notices there's an issue. So very nice enhancement there. Flow chaining. One of the great things about the WebEx Contact Center is that it's a graphical interface that is intuitive. And so configuring workloads and configuring queues, configuring skills-based routing, configuring call decision trees, all of those things become a lot easier. And so there's been a lot of enhancements in that area, and what's called flow chaining, and adjusting how you can set up predefined flows. So again, all good enhancements coming to that platform. Here's another example: call prioritization, you can reassign priority to the contacts in a queue, so that when a single agent serves multiple queues, calls with the highest priority across all of the queues gets picked. So again, just more great enhancements to the WebEx Contact Center platform. Lastly, we're going to talk about the security pillar, if you will, and not just only security, but management, administrative management, privacy, insights, analytics. And that statement up under that sentence there, built in, not bolted on, is very important, because Cisco is very proud of their security around the WebEx product. And if you look at the security of some of the competitors, such as Zoom and others, and even Microsoft Teams, they just cannot compare with the security that is Cisco's built for their product, and it's built in, not bolted on. What that means is that they started with security, and it's the foundation of the entire product. They didn't think about security as an afterthought after their data ends up on Chinese servers or something like that. Or that's a little small jab there, but the point is that Cisco is serious about security, and it's obvious through their enhancements. Wow, I struggle with that one. Anyways, let's talk about some exciting things coming in regards to that area. Wow, struggling through there. Sorry about that. So, getting started in Control Hub. This is a feature that helps you as an admin when you first log in. It tells you what's best practice setup guidance, if you will. So it can take you step by step so that you can navigate through common setup tasks in a sequential way. Organizational health in Control Hub. I really like this because right when you log in, you'll see what your organization score is. And then when you go there and look at it, it actually gives you tips for making it better and things that you can set up and step-by-step instructions as well. So it helps administrators adopt best practice setup and almost gamifies it, if you will, your organization's experience so that you can make the experience better for your users. Okay, helps admins compare their deployment with health with best practice, helps admins pinpoint experience and adoption challenges, and it helps grow end user and administrator sentiment positively. Proactive notification. This allows you as an administrator to alert for things like maybe you want to set up alerts for the executive conference room devices so that if anything at all is out of the ordinary, beforehand, things like that. So extra alerting items. There's also a new training alert which inspects all meetings quality at the end of each day and alerts you when network performance is trending down and things like that. So great tools to help you as an administrator have a better experience for your end users. You can now have policies for groups. So it allows you to manage settings and capabilities for users in bulk, which is nice. Simplifies provisioning. There's now single compliance in DLP, which is data loss prevention solution for WebEx meetings and messaging. This is really huge when it comes to compliance. That's a big area that a lot of companies struggle with, but Cisco's done a wonderful job with end-to-end encryption, encryption at rest, and internal and external security. Whether you're talking to people within your company or out. So there's great enhancements to retention policy. It's got legal hold support for meeting content, e-discovery support, events API support for meetings, extended security pack with Cloud Lock, which is another Cisco solution that helps protect cloud assets, if you will. So great stuff there. Zero trust security for WebEx is available now. End-to-end encryption. This is if you really want to turn on the security for WebEx, you now have that capability. Zero trust, for those of you who don't know, means that you don't trust and verify everything. So it's just the very stringent security settings. And then API drives new skills for compliance officers. Again, this is all about being able to ensure that you can control what's happening in your WebEx app environment. And you can control bots, for example, and make sure that if you decide that a bot is not healthy for your environment, you can have it removed from all spaces. You can also, compliance officers can easily inspect deleted files and set up policies to look for specific situations. So it's a very great and robust tools for compliance for your WebEx environment, messaging environment, and to protect your IP, your intellectual property. Enhanced WebEx calling analytics. So used to be when the platform was still being built and refined, if you will. It would take forever for the pages to load. Now it's much faster loading and updating of analytics. You can view top level insights on adoption. You can see what your WebEx calling usage and what the call quality is doing and trending. And then you can drill down into site level specifics to understand what's going on in your environment. And you can also ensure users having a great WebEx calling experience across sites and endpoint types. So just really good analytics to let you know what's going on in your calling environment. This is a big thing right here, call traffic analysis for UCM customers within Control Hub. So we all know Control Hub is the cloud portal that you manage your WebEx cloud services through. So you manage WebEx meetings and WebEx Teams, for example, and WebEx calling, which is the cloud. But now you can also manage your on-premises environment and get extra insight into your on-premises environment through the WebEx Control Hub. It's called Cloud Connected UC, CCUC. And basically it allows you to add your on-premises environment to the Control Hub. And once it's connected, you can get extra analytics from your environment and in even some changes that you can do from the cloud. So very nice. I've got a couple more slides in here that talks more about that. So since I'm just mentioned Unified Communications Manager, the next few slides are focusing more on, I keep wanting to say Call Manager because that's what we used to always call it. So I'm going to say Call Manager, just know I mean Unified Communications Manager. And Unity Connection, I'm a president, so on and so forth. But overall, it's important to understand what the Cisco is doing with their on-premises products. The idea is to make sure that they design it that meets all of the demands for on-premises, but also the cloud, and offers feature parity. And overall, their themes are to make sure that they're simplifying UC administration, enhancing security and compliance, of course, delivering the best user experiences, and building those bridges from on-premises environments to the cloud. All right, so just important to talk about that. Call Manager timeline release. Okay, so if you haven't already, many people have upgraded to 12. And 12, what's important to understand about the 12.x release of Call Manager, I'm saying Call Manager, but I'm referring to all the UC apps, is that Cisco used to do .0 and .5 releases. They're no longer doing that. 12 is the last time that's ever happening. From 14 on, it's going to be 14, and then SU1, SU2, 15, SU1, SU2, so on and so forth. So this slide speaks to that and shows you what that timeline looks like. Increased cluster scale. This is one of the enhancements with 14. I've got a couple other ones that I'm going to speak to in here, but basically you get 25% increase in cluster scale, and that helps reduce costs, especially for those larger environments. And the solution is extensible in that you can add WebEx devices to the environment now, and basically start having those hybrid services where some of the workloads may still be on premises, maybe calling is still on premises, but messaging, meetings can be in the cloud. And so it's really about having a platform that can do a little bit of both, right? This is probably my favorite update in regards to 14, and that is the sense that the fact that you no longer have to have like for like upgrades. Okay, so in the past, if you were upgrading, you had to stage it, and you couldn't go direct from 10 to 14, for example, but now you can. So you can basically export your configuration from those versions and import them into 14. So very nice migration and upgrade functionality now. ICE, the original ICE, right? Interactive connectivity establishment. This is an enhancements that allows you to keep your calling local for intra-site calls. And so if you have, site A and site B and users are trying to call each other's phones, it's going to make sure that call stays is considered a local call and doesn't send the media up to the cloud, and it helps conserve bandwidth and reduce latency. Cisco calling plans expansion. This is related to the WebEx calling and in the cloud calling piece, not on premises. And basically, in the past, when you went to the cloud, you could have two ways to have PSTN. You could use your existing local gateway, or you could have gone to one of Cisco's cloud connected PSTN providers. But now they're actually in the PSTN game too, and you can have it all within one bill. So in the past, you would still have two bills basically. You'd have your bill for your PSTN, whether it was a cloud provider or it was your local service. But now you can actually get PSTN bundled in with your WebEx subscription. So very nice. Speaking of cloud connected PSTN providers, there's now the capability to have multiple providers, and especially for those multinational customers, that's important because you want to make sure that you have a PSTN path that's in a local region for you. So that's now supported. And this is when I was speaking to earlier about how you can add your on-premises environment to the WebEx Control Hub without any additional cost. You do have to be a full WebEx admin, but once you get that environment added to the Control Hub, it gives you extra benefits for your on-premises environment. And it's going to keep giving you value because it's constantly updated and more enhancements are coming at no additional cost. WebEx app call persistency. This allows you to ensure that as you are go between your work environment and outside, for example, it's not going to drop the call. It's going to go between Wi-Fi and LTE and keep the call active for you if you're talking on the WebEx app. The WebEx Unified Mobile software development kit. This is really cool in that it allows you to bring your calling and your collaboration technology to your whatever app you've developed. Maybe you're a medical office and you have a telehealth app, for example, and you want to add your phone system to that so that when people are using your telehealth app, they can, or the medical doctor app, they can then contact you and it can become a full-blown telehealth app. So great functionality in the sense that you can write your own mobile app and you can incorporate your collaboration tools within it. High availability with MRA registration failover. This is nice in that MRA, by the way, is mobile and remote access through the Cisco Expressway architecture. Cisco Expressways are basically products that allows you your on-premises environment to communicate outside of your network. And now there's registration failover so that when things are getting updated, your users are not disconnected. And cloud connected UC Jabber to WebEx app migration tool. This is really nice because a lot of folks, frankly, are still using Cisco Jabber, and that's fine. But as you migrate to the cloud, and if your company is not, that's not for every company. I'm not trying to advocate that, but for those companies that want to migrate to the cloud, this is a tool through the Control Hub that allows you to know everything you need to do to get your Jabber users migrated to the new WebEx app. It's basically step by step and tells you as an administrator what needs to be done and what needs to be set up to get there if that's the direction you're wanting to go in. This is just another slide showing that experience of the cloud connected UC within the Control Hub. This is nice because you can do call issue diagnostics and you can drill down into call failures. You can correlate CDRs and CMRs. You can trigger log collection based on call issues, and it provides diagnostic insights, and it also gives you a visual ladder diagram of the call. So just more tools that you don't get out of the box with on-premises solutions that you can have access to when you connect it to the cloud. So very nice. And this is the service management piece. Again, all about connecting your on-premises environment and the cloud. It even has service management capabilities, so you can enable and disable certain services. And that is it. A lot to get through. My mouth is a little dry, but thank you all for listening to me and watching this video blog. I hope you've all gotten something out of it. Thank you and have a great day. Now, well, I should say before I go, if you need any help with any of these technologies or any of these applications that we spoke about, please reach out to ByteWorks. We're here to help you.
Hi, I'm Evan Powell.
Hi, everyone. This is Jeremiah Plasko with ByteWorks. As a reminder, ByteWorks is an IT infrastructure consulting firm that focuses on data center, cybersecurity, enterprise networking, and collaboration. Joining me today is Senior UC Engineer Rob Patmore, and we're going to talk today about the all-new WebEx Contact Center. Just a brief overview and reminder, the all-new WebEx Contact Center is a 100% cloud contact center offering. It's extremely robust and capable. It's omni-channel out of the box, and we're going to go through a brief sneak peek demonstration of it right now. So let's get started and show you what we got here. The all-new WebEx Contact Center has an agent desktop, a contact center desktop here that is 100% browser-based. So I'm actually already logged in via a browser right now. When you first log in, it actually gives you the option to install the application on your desktop. This is just a shortcut, if you will, to the browser, but it does help you after that first login to quickly launch it on subsequent times. So when you first get logged in, I'm here on the home screen. Let's just give a little general navigation overview here. We've got the home screen. We've got the queuing area. Right now, there are no requests. This is the default view. Down here, we see all of our contact history. And so I can see all inquiries right here, but I can also see by clicking on these individual icons, the specific channel inquiry. So the phone icon, of course, is calls inbound, web chats inbound, social contacts inbound, and email contacts inbound. Down here, below the home screen, I have agent performance statistics. So when I log in and go here, I can pull up basic reporting capabilities. And so the summary page is going to show me as an agent, since I'm logged in as an agent, my statistics as an individual agent, and also the statistics of the team that I'm on. Okay, so I'm on team A. I can see the total handled inquiries, average handle time, and average wrap-up time for the team that I'm on. And I can also see those individually for me, the agent. These are all customizable per the company. So these stats
you can use the interaction manager
have to be the
where
ones that
you can
show.
upload all your audio files.
Customizable.
Designer, which allows you to create your own call flow, which is basically script based on your business logic.
Agent stats from
and here, this is basically an online-based editor. On the left-hand side, you can open script if you want to, or you can create a new script, new application if you prefer. Most of the task is actually drag and drop and connect
agent
the
outdial stats. So all of those are customized
to each other, just like your UCCX or
over
UCC
here at the top.
scripting,
You notice I'm in an available call state right now. This is how I'm, as an agent, controls my current state. I can go into log in, log out mode. If I need to go to a meeting, I go into that, break, etc. Again, all customizable by the administrators. And that's how I, as an agent, control my login state. Over to the left of that, I have the notification center. So this is where the system notifies me of anything that I need to be aware of. And then over in the top right hand, I have my profile. So just click that little circle there. You'll see your name, the agent name. I'm Luke Skywalker. The phone number I have tethered to the service. When I first log in, it asks me to choose a phone number. In this particular demonstration, I've actually got it tied to my cell phone. It's one of the great advantages of WebEx Contact Center because it is a cloud offering. I can be an agent anywhere in the world as long as I have an internet connection. I can tie it to my personal cell phone, a work cell phone, a work phone number, a software-based phone number, or soft client, for example, my home phone, whatever the case I may be, I can tie it to the number that I'm at. This shows me the team that I'm on. Like I said, we've got this agent set up on team A. Again, all customizable. I just realized that I'm part of the A team. If you are old, you get that reference. Down here, my channel capacity, I can see what channels I'm a part of. Now, the WebEx Contact Center solution is an omni-channel platform out of the box. What does that mean? That means typically call centers take in inbound voice calls, and they're queued for inbound voice calling. And this system, you can have multiple channels, not just voice. You can have web chat channels that queue in. You can have emails that queue in. You can even have social media channels that queue in, all to the same agent, all through the same pane of glass. This is a game changer because a lot of legacy contact center systems, and especially on-premises contact center systems, they have multiple systems for the different channels. So this is all one system, all of those channels coming into one. If I have a customer going to try to find my company on Facebook, or if they go to Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook Messenger, all these different social media channels can actually come in and filter into this same agents. Even SMS text messaging. That's how a lot of companies are handling customer inquiries via SMS. That also can feed into this as well. Today, I'm just going to demonstrate 3 channels: regular voice, web chat, and email. But just know that this system has that capability to add on those social channels as well. Up under the channel capacities and the channels that I'm on, I do have some additional user settings. My notification settings, I can enable them or disable them, and enable silent notifications, adjust the sounds. So those gives me some control there. I can reset the entire desktop layout if I need to, if I've customized it. Again, these desktop layouts are customizable by the companies that set them up. I can also switch to dark mode. The default is light mode, but if you prefer the dark mode, you've got that option too. Down here, I can see keyboard shortcuts because maybe in a lot of call centers traditionally, agents are using their keyboard to pressing a specific button to answer with their keyboard, or pressing a specific button to hang up or to transfer, etc. You've got those capabilities as well, and you can see what those hotkeys or the keyboard shortcuts are right there. That's in the agent settings. We've gone over that. So now that we've given you a tour of what that agent desktop looks like, let's show you what it looks like when one of these channels is making an inbound customer inquiry. First, we're going to show a web chat. So how does a web chat happen? A web chat happens by the client going to your website and making an inquiry. So we've got our vertical here that we're demonstrating today is a university. All right. And so I go to the university webpage, and let's say I want to find out about admissions or whatever. And so I click the little web chat icon here. I put in my information and I make the inquiry. So let me just punch in my email address here and select a topic of what I want to ask about. Maybe I want student services, whatever the case may be. And I just type in my question with admissions, whatever it is. Okay. Now, one thing I want to point out about this web chat, the initial chat is handled by a bot. It's application intelligence, and you as an administrator can customize this bot to do a lot of things. And so one of the things that a lot of companies will do with a chat bot is make it handle what we call the FAQs, the frequently asked questions. Questions like, what's the directions to the university? You can have the bot automatically answer that. What's the school hours? Have the bot automatically answer those things. Things that are frequently asked that you can have handled by the bot reduces the overall traffic of your agents and makes the overall customer experience better. So that's where application intelligence really comes in, and what that digital first engagement is all about, because you want to be able to provide self-service as much as possible, because it makes your customer service experience more efficient and a better overall for your clients. So just keep that in mind. In this scenario, we've got this chatbot set up very basic for demonstration purposes. So I, as the client, hit start chat, and what's going to happen from an agent perspective is that chat is going to come in here and queue just like a call would, for example, or anything, any sort of inquiry into a call center. So there it is. I see here in my waiting area that I have a new inbound inquiry from a client. I can tell that it's a web chat because the icon here, I can see the customer name, the email that they're calling in on, and what queue they're calling in on as well. So I'm going to click accept. And then now that I am in this chat, and I'm going to see all of the chat history right here. The customer may have already asked the chatbot some questions, and maybe the chatbot answered some of those questions. If that happened, I would also see that history as well. Maybe the chatbot can answer the first couple questions, and then the keyword is speak to representative or speak to an agent. And that's what the client types in, and then you can have it to where the bot will hand it off to a live person. Okay, so all of this is customizable by you, the administrator, in your company. A couple things about what I see now that I am handling an inquiry, though. You'll notice at the top here, I've got a counter telling me how long I've been in the conversation. I've got a transfer and a conference option. Transfer or conference, a web chat? That seems weird. Well, maybe the web chat came in to me and it needed to go to a different group. And so I can hit transfer and I can choose a specific agent or a specific queue. Maybe they need financial aid or something. I can hit queue and choose that financial aid queue and route it into the appropriate person. So very nice. Conferences, maybe I need to bring in a subject matter expert to participate in the chat with us. If I do that and add in an agent, I will actually see the agent chat history and the clients all from one screen, as will the customer. So that's how those are my options as far as dealing with and managing the web chat inquiry. Over here to the right, I can see contact history and previous inquiries of where this has been handled. And you'll notice I have a little time limit exceeded there. So I need to hurry up and answer and send that off. So it's warning me, hurry up, man. As an agent, I need to stop messing around and answer the customer. So good stuff there. Again, all that's customizable. But over here, I see the contact history. I can see if they've emailed in, called in, whatever the case may be, and I can even click and view that history. So let's assume, and by the way, oops, wrong screen. Let me go back, and you can see where I answered, and I can type in whatever I want as the client, and then that will pop up here. And ultimately, I handle the conversation. I'm ready to end this inquiry. I hit end. When I do that, it's going to ask me for what my wrap-up code is going to be. These are all, again, customizable. I choose the wrap-up code and submit it, and that inquiry is done, and I'm back on my home screen here. Okay. Now this view here too is customizable. This is the default, but you can actually have other stuff pop up on the home screen and customize that as well. That's one of the great things about WebEx Contact Center is it's extremely customizable. You can even have it integrated with your CRM and for example, Salesforce or ServiceNow, things like that, and run the entire thing all from one pane of glass. So a lot of customization capabilities. So we've had a web chat inquiry. Next, let's say we want to be able to email and handle an email inquiry with the into the same agent. So let me get my email open real quick and show that experience. So bear with me. All right. Now I have my email client open. I want to, again, I would find out the email by going to the university website. I could click to, the web chat button, but maybe I just want to email in because I don't need an answer right away. So I'm going to find out what that email address to contact them was and ask my questions. Put in my subject. And whatever the question is, I'm just going to type a lot of gobbledygook and press send. Now, one thing about emails is that the WebEx Contact Center system, sorry, let me get back on the right page here. Okay, there, fine. The WebEx Contact Center system waits 60 seconds before it goes and pulls and checks for new emails. So you're not going to see as an agent an email come in immediately. It takes about a minute, and then you will see that pop in, and we should see it here in just a few more seconds. If I'm not a liar here. If the demo gods are good here, I should see it pop up at any point. I feel like we should have the Jeopardy music going right now, Rob. And there it goes. Okay. Sorry about the silence that we might have to fill that in. Anyway, so I can clearly see again what type of inquiry it is. It's email, customer name, the queue name that it's coming in on, and I just hit accept. And it is going to be a little bit different for an email, what I see as far as my options as an agent than what I saw within a web chat. I can transfer this email to another group. Maybe there's a specific queue or an individual that needs to get this email, and I can do that. All right. I can see up here a banner. It tells me that attachments were dropped per the company's security policy. So this signature had pictures and it dropped it. All right. Down here, over to the right, I still have all that contact history like we do with web chats. That's good, great context. If I want to do a quick reply, I can type in that quick reply here. Okay. And then just hit send. One of the cool things too is you can build templates for your quick replies. And so if you have a canned response that you are going to answer a lot to, you can do that. You can also hit reply here, and it's going to open up your normal email text formatting. And again, you have some predefined templatized responses that you can have auto populate here. And then you can add to the note if you want to. But the big thing about it when you hit the reply up top is that it gives you these extra text formatting tools. All right. You can even attach files if you need to. But let's assume you've replied, you answer appropriately, whatever the answer to the question is going to be. Then you just hit send, and that you've emailed that client back and handled that email communication through the email queue. Again, all through this same pane of glass. You can choose your customized follow-up wrap-up codes and submit your wrap-up, and you're all done. So we've now seen two types of inquiry into our omni-channel WebEx Contact Center solution. We've seen web chat, we've seen email. Now let's take a look at an inbound voice call, the traditional way of calling customer service, right? So I am going to call the number.
Hello, you have reached the University of the Jedi Order. If you would like to speak with admission,
yes.
If you are a first-time,
I want to be a Jedi
for
Knight.
more information.
Okay, so I'm going to call into and request to speak to an agent, and there it is. And I'm also hearing it ring on my cell phone because, again, I've tethered my cell phone. Mute, so kill the feedback here. But I've tethered my cell phone to my agent desktop here. So I can answer it on my cell phone. Again, I as an agent can choose which phone I'm using. Makes it very awesome solution because I can be an agent from anywhere with an internet connection and a browser anyway. So again, I see a lot of information about this call now that I've answered it. I see a timer going up here so I can see how long I've been on the call. It's here too. I can see the number that has called me. I can see what queue, the number that was dialed, the ring no answer time. Up top here, I have even more options. I have the ability to put the call on hold, the ability to consult with another agent. Maybe I need to put this call on hold and call a subject matter expert and then return to the call. That's what I would do here. I would hit consult, and then it would put that client on hold, and I would call an agent or talk to a specific number. I can hit transfer if I just need to transfer this call off to another group or queue. I can hit pause recording. One of the great things about the WebEx Contact Center solution is that it will do auto call recording. And if you want to give your agents the ability to stop that recording, you can. Of course, you don't have to, entirely administratively controlled, but that's a neat option there. Of course, I can end the call here. Just like with the other contact inquiries, I see the history of this call, okay? Another thing to point out is that I could have had this system integrated with a CRM system such as Salesforce, for example. And if the number matched a customer number in my system, it could pop up with that Salesforce information right away. So it can do database steps and have that extra capability out of the box like that. So very good stuff. So anyways, now I've handled the call, handled the customer inquiry. I just press end. And again, I get a wrap-up code and I'm good to go. So we've seen there now the three of the multiple channels that the WebEx Contact Center Cloud Call Center solution. I say call center, it should be contact center because you're contacting multiple ways. And you can even do SMS messaging. So it's truly a platform that's designed to have one pane of glass to answer any sort of inquiry you can imagine from your clients. It's a truly robust and powerful platform. And it makes, from an administrative standpoint, the fact that it's all in the cloud is awesome. I'm speaking of it about this from an administrative standpoint. Rob, now that we've talked about that a little and we've seen the agent view, would you mind showing us what a supervisor sees?
Absolutely.
All right.
So what you'll see on the screen right now, after a supervisor logs in, it's pretty much, it brings you straight to an initial dashboard, gives you some general information. You can select between a few different options as far as the overview for real time versus historical. You can even look at agent state data real time and how long they've been in that state, and even if you need to sign an agent out. You can filter based on teams or specific agents. Gives you a little bit of flexibility there. But when you want to get a little bit more detailed in your reporting, you can simply just jump into the reporting and analytics. It opens in a whole new browser tab. From here, you have visualizations and dashboards. Visualizations, you can create custom ones, but has a good number of them out of the box. We'll just jump into here a little bit. And you can see we can do many different reports. As you can tell, there are a lot of them out of the box. They're already included. And even the existing ones, you could use them as a template to create a custom one off of that, or you can do one completely from scratch. And as you can see, it gives you a good bit of info. You still have different filtering capabilities within it. The dashboard piece comes in the scenario that you want to have multiple reports and you want them laid out on a single page. Depending on your particular needs, it gives you that capability.
Nice.
So it's very, very clean, straightforward. You could pretty much create custom reports, custom dashboards, exactly what you want to see, no extra fluff, just straight to the point.
Awesome.
Now, moving on from that, we do, of course, have all the usual expectations for supervisor capabilities. It has the call monitoring capability, which, as you can see here, it basically allows you to do some various filtering. You can tell it what number to call you at. So you don't have to have a dedicated phone for this. You can just use an external phone number. You can see what calls are currently being monitored and outstanding monitored requests. Beyond that, we do also have the call recording capability, which this would be if you're dealing with pre-scheduled recordings there.
Okay.
But besides that, you can also search through any existing recordings that have already been captured. It will give you a session ID, which is just a unique number to identify it, queue, team, the agent, the phone numbers involved, duration, wrap-up codes, and allows you to actually be able to pull out that recording. You can listen to it, you can download it, you can do whatever you need to there.
Awesome. So it's obvious that the WebEx Contact Center platform has all of the supervisor mechanisms that you would expect. The ability to, of course, see analytics and reporting and real-time and historical stats for the contact center, but also so that you can do call monitoring on the fly or scheduled, and of course all the call recording capabilities. Now, I know also that the platform has a lot of advanced capabilities that you can add on, such as workforce optimization, the ability to grade calls, and the ability to have gamification for your agents and things like that. So it's got a lot of advanced capabilities. But from an administrative standpoint, Rob, because you and I are both familiar with on-premises contact center systems and how administratively burdensome they can be, how is it in comparison setting up, these call flows and these bots and things in the cloud versus the complexity of doing it with an on-premises system? Can you go into that a little bit?
Absolutely. So when you're dealing with an on-premises system, it's actually a very different experience. I'll actually show you an example of a call flow designed for an on-premise contact center express. You'll notice it's basically a line-by-line script that it's have to go through. You have to put all the different pieces in, and you're also having to deal with jumping around with labels and go-to statements in various pieces of it. So depending on the complexity of your scripts, that can be, honestly, unless call flows have already been pre-diagrammed, which honestly, in most cases, I've seen that hasn't been initially prepared, then it can take a lot of time for someone to go through all of this and figure it out.
It seems too that you've got to understand or be able to read and at least acknowledge or comprehend some programming language.
Oh yeah, you can pretty much think of it as a programming language. It can have errors in the script, and you potentially have to add in error handling just to cover it. So yeah, if you don't have at least a basic understanding of programming, this is really something that you really don't want to touch yourself.
I see. And within the cloud solution, can you compare this against that?
Absolutely. So in the cloud solution, for comparing directly, I'm going to pull up the call flow specifically for a voice call.
Is this the one that I called into during the demonstration?
Yes, it is. I'm
Awesome.
going to pull up the same one. And you'll notice off the bat, it's pretty large here. We can, of course, always change zoom, but I have it. I'm just going to show a quick overview just so you see what I have here. I have it pretty spread out, but you can rearrange it however you want. These all can be moved around. What you'll see here is right off the bat, you'll notice that we're not dealing with line by line scripts or anything like that. It's all visual, and we're basically just putting lines between everything.
It seems kind of like connect the dots easy. Am I simplifying this too much?
No, honestly, you're not. It's quite literally putting a line between point A to point B. And when you need to add, for example, a new menu, you just come over here and you just click and drag one over. There you go, new menu.
So am I reading that right? In that first main menu, that's what we went into, and then it gives you the options, press 1 for this, 2 for this, etc. And then you just build as many as you want and drag and connect the lines, and then you can see the full call flow visually. Is that what I'm seeing here?
That's correct. And for the additional details that you may not see there, so we obviously have where when someone selects an option, we have different labels here. These are completely just editable. You can change the text in them to whatever you want. That's really just for your own internal reference. They're not actually used anywhere else. What all that matters is the different options and just creating the line going where it needs to go. Within the menu, that's where you have these different settings when you click on the specific menu. And in this example, we're not even using regular audio recordings. What we're using is text to speech through Google. You can customize this to even include specific custom variables and values that were gathered from other places into the actual script, as well as the script of what's spoken is just completely just here in a text box. If you need to make a change, you just update the text box and you're good to go.
So, wow, you can actually have it to where you type in what you want the system to say. No longer would you need to find voice actors to record your prompts and constantly update them with sound files and such. You just simply type in what you want to say, choose the voice that you want it to be in, and you're good to go.
That's correct. And if someone did, of course, want to do a traditional audio file, you can still do that. In fact, you can have multiple audio files within a single menu. And if for some reason you want part of it to be variable grabbed versus by other means, you have all that kind of flexibility. They honestly give you more flexibility here than honestly most people would really need.
That is great. Now I see that thing at the bottom, validation off. What's that about? What does that do?
Glad you asked. So what that does is, obviously, when you're dealing with all these little connect the dots going on here, as simple as it looks, it honestly can be very easy to miss something. Say, for example, we missed, let's just use as an example, we missed one here for option 3 on the finance menu for going to the queue contact, that we forgot to basically connect the dots there. So it doesn't have anywhere to go. Well, when you believe that you're ready to go with everything and you want to do a validation check, you just turn on validation. It checks the flow for any issues. You'll notice right off the bat, it says there's an error. It says it's in the finance menu. And it also gives us a little bit more information saying one or more ports in the activity are not connected. So it's basically telling us a good idea of what's going on there. In addition to that, it also puts a red outline around the entire thing. So even if you don't read the text, it's still visually pointing you to where you need to look.
That's awesome.
And the moment with the validation on, the moment that you just click and drag and connect the dots,
wow,
it does an error check and it's good to go.
Wow. So this is pretty cool. Is it fair to say, Rob, that, you know, as a supervisor, as a contact center administrator, you can come in here and create some pretty robust call flows and not have to be a programmer, you know, crazy geeky developer dude, right?
Absolutely. In fact, I'm sure a lot of people are probably looking at this and wondering, well, you got all these overlapping lines all over the place. How can you tell what's going on? Well, for one thing, you can always click on the individual lines and see where they're going. But in addition to that, you can also click and drag. You can rearrange lines, the boxes, or anything else. It helps give you an idea of where everything's connected. Honestly, I was too lazy to do this myself. But for someone that wants to spend the time doing it, you could separate out every single line, every single menu option, make it very clean and tidy and perfect. And when you leave this flow, it saves those changes. Exactly how you laid it out will be exactly how it is the next time you look at it.
That's awesome. So in conclusion, just to wrap up here, Rob, we've got a cloud-based contact center solution that is omni-channel out of the box, much easier to administrate and configure. It looks like a really great platform. And when you think about what all you have to do to have all of these capabilities within an on-premises system, not just from a hardware and software footprint, but also from an administrative overhead footprint, it almost makes this solution a no-brainer.
Absolutely. Honestly, the upkeep and expertise required to maintain this is significantly less compared to any on-premises systems I've ever worked with.
Wow. Well, let's wrap it up with that, Rob. I appreciate your time today. I just want to remind everyone, please like and subscribe to this video. If you are in a position to where you have on-premises contact center systems and you would like to roll to a robust cloud platform and need assistance, please reach out to us. We are very proud to be a WebEx Contact Center authorized partner. We've had to go through a lot of technical training and expenses in order to be so, and we can help you get and roll out a robust omni-channel platform like you see here today. Thanks everyone for joining us, and we look forward to helping you with your contact center and collaboration needs.